And we motherfucking back, man. Welcome back to another episode of MKZ the podcast. I believe we are on episode 6 now, fellas. So we're getting a
Yes,
move
sir.
on. We're getting a move on. It's looking lovely, and it's been quite a journey. Before anything today, I want to do one little special thing for today's episode. Can the rest of the choir, before we introduce our special guest, as y'all see next to me, can the rest of the choir here join me in singing happy motherfucking birthday
Oh,
for Kevon
Yes,
motherfucking
sir.
Reed?
I didn't
Yes,
even know it was his
fucking
birthday.
Happy
sir.
birthday.
Happy birthday
oh shit!
to
Birthday.
I
ya.
forgot about that.
Happy
Happy
birthday
Happy
birthday.
to
birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday. We hella uncoordinated, but we just want
Thank
to
you,
show
Why
thank
up.
you
you.
don't look why you don't look happy for niggas to be wishing you happy
That's
birthday,
what I'm
bro?
saying, bro.
I
You ain't
forgot about that shit.
Hey
No, I
man,
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
of course, we want to wish our, one of our wonderful co-hosts a happy birthday, man. Got all the love in the world for you, man. Thank you for everything you do for us and what you do for, the friend group. So, much
Hmm.
love, gang. Much love, much love. But without further ado,
Appreciate it.
we'll get this show on the road. We have a special guest, as you can see. I hinted at it a bit earlier. We had the biggest Banaan in this motherfucker. If y'all know him, y'all know him. But we got the biggest
Who's
Banaan in
Bane?
the chat.
Shout out
Banaan,
to my dog,
talk to
boy.
me.
What's good, y'all boys? Pleasure to be here. I
Yes,
always wanted to be in this spot. Y'all boys be going crazy, so to be here with y'all boys is it's fine, it's fine.
much love, much love, much love. We appreciate you, dog. We looking forward to hear what type of shit you got to say about these finals going on. So
Oh,
let's
I got
get.
a lot.
Oh, okay, perfect. Let's get straight to it. Let's get straight to it. I don't know if y'all can tell by my background, but I'm literally on vacation. Like I'm literally sitting on the floor right now. Like I know I'm
Ooh,
showing some crazy shit, but I'm on vacation.
Such a
But
goat.
the grind don't
Such a
stop.
goat.
The grind don't
Boy,
stop
the
for y'all
grind.
boys,
He's a
man.
grinder, boy.
The grind don't stop,
fact.
bro. The grind don't stop. It's a must we get this out before the game. But yeah. Game one, folks. What the fuck do we have to say about our atrocious Heat performance? What do we have to say?
I want to
Look, we
go.
can't call it atrocious, bro. That's foul, bro. Cause look, we only lost by 11,
Right.
and niggas wasn't even hooping.
I respect that. I respect that. The bitter Heat fan in me is gonna blow it up and make it seem like it's the worst loss in the
And
world.
I definitely blew that shit out of proportion, but I had to stop and think, like, okay, let me calm down. Let me think about what really went wrong.
Right.
Niggas
Right.
just wasn't hooping.
Niggas wasn't hooping, man, and like it's so crazy to see because we've grown accustomed, especially this playoffs, to a Heat team that has been able to outshine the lights, has been able to go out there, outperform. We got role players looking like stars. We got players getting cut from the worst team in the league and looking like the conference finals MVPs. But he got no respect running back past me while I'm trying to record for him. But nah, it's like we got so used. I feel like we got spoiled as Heat fans. We got spoiled a little bit into
Not
thinking,
most of.
right, into thinking that every game is gonna be perfect. When in reality, we got niggas like Max Struess on our team, and when you have niggas like
Ah,
Max
you see,
Struess,
he
We're not
got
gonna
money.
do
yeah, I
that,
had to
Yeah,
bro.
throw it
we
in.
not
I
gonna
ain't
do that,
wasting
We're
bro.
no
not
We
gonna
not
do
time.
gonna
that,
do
bro.
We
that,
got
bro.
niggas like Max Struess on our team. So when we got
For
niggas
those
like
who
that,
don't know, Mr. Two Times is a big Max Struess hater. As much as he's a Heat fan, he hates Max Struess with all of his heart.
with all my heart, this is both of these are to Max Struess. He pisses me off. But I
That
And then
nigga
mean,
when we and
smacking tonight. That nigga is
yes,
put
smacking
sir.
down
tonight,
the
bro.
prize picks,
That,
bro. Put down the prize
that nigga
picks.
is smacking tonight.
No,
Hey
he's
man, hit that
not,
boy
bro.
Kia for some real picks, man. That boy get you right, man. Make you some bread.
But where does the Max Strus hate come from, bro? What did he
I
do?
mean, I just don't like. My thing is, see, look, and I feel like we've all been here as hoopers, right? You hop in a pickup game, you hop in a competitive game, and you're here putting in work with people that you hope can live up to whatever level that they need to live up to, whatever role they're bringing to the team. I don't
Hmm.
like guys that do shit that how can I say this? That divert out of their lane. Strus should be a 3 and D guy for me. He should not
And
be
that's
putting.
what he be doing.
That's what he be. Okay, that's what he should be doing. But Strus for me should average anywhere from like 5 to 7 shots. Those shots that he's taking, especially when he's not hitting, it's like Strus, you are not that guy. So why are you catching the ball and chucking that bitch from 30 with
That
a
boy the
hand in your
shooter.
face, bro? I understand he's a shooter, but when it's not falling like it did game one, and you're shooting 0 for 10, I got nothing. Like, you're running, you're getting cardio on that court. You're wasting the body. You're wasting the space. Man, McKinley, start me off and tell me what the fuck went wrong for us game one. I could talk shit about Strus all day, but I'm not gonna waste the whole episode talking about that nigga. Let me hear what you got to say.
So, after watching the film, what went wrong? Well, first, we got to talk about defense. Aaron Gordon, he started off real hot. We just didn't have nobody for him except really Jimmy. But I feel like the reasons were that because just terrible transition defense. We was getting cross matched. And we was having a little guy on Aaron Gordon. There's nothing we could do about that unless we get matched up properly. So transition defense, they got to be a lot better in matching up with the right guys because obviously Bam is the only person out there that we're gonna have on Jokic. He can't be switching on to Aaron Gordon just to stop him. So I feel like that was really a big key. Another thing, Jamal Murray. I mean, Jamal's gonna do Jamal. He's in amazing shots since the beginning of the playoffs. So there's not much we could do but just hope to contain him. I like the Highsmith on him. He showed really good minutes on him, and he really, navigating through screens and being a body that you're making him uncomfortable. Another issue, um, just really getting around the screens, really flying over, really just hustling. Like I watched a little bit of Draymond's podcast. He said he looked a little tired, and then he was right. They did look tired at some points. Guys are not really fully getting around. I seen one play. Um, Gabe is trying to get through a back screen from Gordon to stick on Jamal, but he just stays there thinking Jimmy's gonna switch. But obviously we don't want that, and Jamal gets a free easy dunk. So we got to do a lot better in getting around them screens because they're a team that moves the ball. They're a team that's going to constantly dribble handoffs, screens, back doors. We gotta be more vigilant than that. And obviously offense, you got to hit shots. Strus, I ain't gonna be mad at Strus. He had a lot of good looks, and obviously Duncan Robinson he had a lot of good looks too. Obviously they're shooters. They gonna fall next game. But then again, the same goes for Nuggets. They shot the ball terribly. We can't hope that MPJ is gonna miss those same shots he was shooting because he had some good looks too that he missed. So we got to be more vigilant on getting a good hand on contest on that boy.
Man, throw smack on first take for such a in-depth analysis that he just provided on game one. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Bannon, you want to go next? If you want to just give us a little rundown about game one.
Bruh. When he said when he talked about the play where Gabe stopped and Jamal Murray got a free dunk at the rim, I ain't gonna lie, when that happened, I got so tight. But I was also tight at Jimmy because it's like, you look, he got a peep, he's not moving, so just like you right there, you could just turn around and put a hand up or something, bro. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Heat defense was terrible, bro. Like the opening start of the game where how much did Aaron Gordon have? I think it was like 12 in the first quarter or something like that, where he was just cooking crazy. He had Caleb Martin in the paint, just babied him out the way. It was low key. It was tough, bro. Like it was tough to watch. And
It
then
was nothing we
I
could do
know
with
you
him.
hate.
It was nothing we could
It
do
was
with him.
nothing you could do. Like me personally, I was thinking to myself like, why not just have Kevin Love out there? He could shoot. He's an extra big body. Like I don't know why we didn't have him out there. There's got to be a reason. I trust Spo with everything in my heart. So if you don't got him out there, there's got to be a reason. But I know you hate Max Strus. You hate the shots he took, but he has to, bro. Like I feel like that's his. If he's not shooting the ball, what is he doing? Like if he's just out there
Exactly.
not shooting, then what is he really doing for us? Because he's not the best defender. Like he's not a terrible defender, but he's not no ball stopper, bro. So
Yeah.
I just feel like he has to take those shots. Jimmy didn't get to the line at all, and that's something we never see. So the fact that he had a game of just settling for jump shots and getting weak looks at the rim, and we only lost by 11, like I said before. Like, as much bad as there was that game, it's good things to look forward to because Caleb Martin, I trust him to never put on a stinker like that ever again. Max Strus, he gonna be good for. I think Max Strus gonna go for more than 12 this game. Honestly, Duncan Robinson gonna come in and hoop. Like we see him getting backdoor cuts at the rim against the Celtics, putting the ball on the floor and all of that. Like I got trust. I got trust in the Miami Heat tonight, bro. They gonna pull it out. But overall, game one, it was just one of those games where you got to sit there like, Nuggets just wanted it more than us, bro. That's really all it came down to.
That's really all it came down to. And, that's something that was very clear from the onset of the game. Like, you bring up Aaron Gordon coming out and attacking off rip. Like, he sees the mismatch, which, to your point, I feel like maybe a coaching adjustment should have been made. I guess Spo wanted to see how the smaller lineup could fare out with the bigger bodies of Denver. But, we have at least some sort of size on the bench that could have been utilized in the case of Aaron Gordon. So to stop him from dropping like what you said, like 12 in the first quarter, like it was just back to back. It was like an onslaught of buckets. So hopefully those adjustments are made for this next game. But it's just plenty that went wrong. I'm sure Key got some more to add to the table as far as the game one recap.
bro. Talking from like the last video we talked about, like the way Miami lost. Oh, he muted his mic. The way Miami that threw me. The way Miami lost, it was like I said, like if they gonna win games, Jimmy has to put more points up, and everybody else has to contribute and score more. But watching Miami play throughout this playoffs, the one thing that everybody can say, no Victor Oladipo, no Tyler Hero, they play good defense. And I feel like the defense really helps them on offense. It helps them not only just them transition to offense, but their mental too. Like that's Heat culture. And for Miami not to be good defensively to start off the game with Aaron Gordon going off, and not even like Murray and Jokic are starting off yet, that really kind of messed them up. I feel like, and I think like they try playing a little bit of that zone, and with that zone, they got a guard usually like a guard up top of the key, and they got a guard like a shooter up top. They got Jokic on top, and Jokic up top of there, he sees everything, and he's watching the way they motion around, and I think that's what happened with Aaron Gordon getting mismatches with Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin. They just kept flowing through that, messing with that zone, and he would get inside by the free throw line, then go back straight to the post. And the zone can't really crowd him like that because if they do, there's gonna be open shooters. And then he could get out to Jokic. Jokic could pass someone else. They gotta. I don't know what they're gonna have to do. They gotta figure something out. And I understand that Kevin Love because of size, but one thing about Kevin Love is that he's slow. He's very slow. And defensively against Aaron Gordon, I'm not saying he's gonna get 12 points, but he's still gonna get his. And unless Kevin Love come out there and like plays like a little bit better defensively, because offensively I can see it like him getting rebounds. I mean, him stretching the floor, him helping out on boards and defense. But them guarding Aaron Gordon, or let's say they do some switches around and he got to close on someone like Michael Porter Jr. or KCP, like Caleb Martin and them, they have a better chance of that than someone like Kevin Love. That's why I think why he was not there. That's why I think Highsmith played more minutes because he's better on defensively out there. It's a tough one. Take Cody's out of the fucking game. That's one thing. Take Cody's out of the game. If anything, if you're gonna play somebody big, play Kevin Love. If you talking about Max Strus, and one thing about Max Strus, a lot of his shots were open. It was like he was making contested missions because he was missing open shots, and he had 5 rebounds on top of that. Like he's going out there, and you was talking earlier how like Max Strus is like a guy that just if he not shooting running around, bro, like he was still shooting that shit while 0 for 7. I love that about a shooter. That's confidence. If you die down and don't pass, I love that about a shooter. I love that, but no, that's that confidence, bro. Because if you a shooter for a team, bro, and your shots are not falling, and it's like the third, fourth quarter, and you stop shooting, that like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, let's say he's open, he start kicking it out. Like, game over. Like, for him, he was 0 for 7 in the third quarter. He's still shooting that shit. He's still trying to find shots. He's going this game and he's going to be confident. He talking to G Button boys. He cool. Like I like what Max Strus got going on. Same thing with Caleb Martin. I feel like same way Aaron Gordon's a mismatch on offense for them. I feel like he can't guard Caleb Martin off the dribble or ball in his hand at all. I feel like yeah, bro. Aaron Gordon, bro. Everybody said Aaron Gordon played this great defense on Katie. Them niggas gave him buckets. They gave him buckets. He's like, oh, I'm talking to my kids and I was guarding LeBron James. He's talking on the bad leg, nigga. What are you telling your kids about? He's talking crazy. Talking crazy. I don't like that shit, bro. I feel like Caleb Martin gonna cook that nigga. I feel like Bam. I love what Bam did game one, but we should take a shout out to Bam in game one. Everybody was talking shit about Bam. Here we go, babe. I like Bam, bro. I so like all right. I know, Lakers fan, but the same shots that Bam was taking were the same shots that AD had against Jokic. Jokic, he's not that good around that low post area with the jump hooks. Bam had a lot of those, and they back off on Bam too. He had a lot of easy mid ranges, and it's not like by the free throw line. It's like really close by the rim, and I feel like that's where he's more efficient at. And if he still has those shots, he can really take those shots more. And I need Jimmy to be more freaking like aggressive, bro. Like In the beginning of the game, he was trading shots in the beginning of the game. I saw that, but like later on, it died down. And it's like, bro, like I get how the offense is working right now. It's not so dominantly on Jimmy, but bro, when the niggas can't hit their shots, you need to grab that shit and work them niggas. Force double teams, like you say, he need to get to the feet, get to the free throw line, get some fouls. Cause that's what happened in the Boston game too. That the game six when they lost, he was getting more aggressive towards the end. He started getting more foul calls. He needs to do shit like that more. I don't know if he's hurt. Maybe like you say he's hurt earlier. We gotta figure it out though. They gotta do something about that. I don't know, but I feel like I like Miami where they played. They like you say, on us by 11 points. And to be honest, if Max Strus would hit those shots, they win that shit, even on a bad game. You can say that with anybody, but I like Miami this game too. Game they're gonna beat them niggas.
I respect it. I respect it. As you can see, we're very passionate. South Floridians down here. You see Key preaching with his veins in his neck. We're very passionate when it comes to this. When it comes to this basketball talk, man.
Aaron
Now,
Gordon.
now I feel like for my take on the game one recap, I want to touch base on a couple of things that all of you guys pointed out. Right. First, let me start off with Struce because I know the viewers that have been watching the first few minutes. They already understand my adamant disliking of this nigga Struce. I'm gonna be honest. I'll reiterate it. I don't like him. I don't. But I will give him some slack after hearing you guys' take. It wasn't just first off, it wasn't just Struce that was underperforming game one. Although his was most apparent to me because he went for over. He put up a donut. I don't know. I mean, I love that y'all are saying shooters, shooters, but he put up a donut, okay? But I'll take some of the load off his back because you know what was it? Him, Caleb, and Duncan shot I think 2 for 23 from the Florida game.
Yep.
So it's
And
like
then like one for 16 from three.
like 1 for 16 from three. So clearly it
Oh
was
my
more.
God.
It was more than just one player. Being stubborn in his ways and trying to shoot himself out of a slump. It was more so. I feel like the Heat are just. We got to find a way to transition into this different atmosphere that is Denver and that is the NBA Finals. You know, we've heard the media talks about, and we've heard it for years about the altitude over there in Denver, and we know that has played a big role in just the what's the word, just the fatigue levels and a lot of visiting teams because they are not the Denver Nuggets who have uh, you know formed a liking to this type of altitude, being that they practice here, they play here, et cetera, et cetera. So they're always going to have that benefit in their back pocket. But you know, I felt like it was less to do with Miami's inability to keep up with Denver and more so our own shooting ourselves in the foot. We're talking about misreads on switches when we're when we got yoked with the ball or we got backdoor cuts taking place. We got guys getting free lanes to the basket. Those are just things that just can't happen in the NBA Finals game. And then we have you know Jimmy, who, as much as I love Jimmy, I've been professing this since the playoffs started. It's something about his motor for me. Like his motor, he has the motor and he has the will. We all know it is. Like we know Jimmy Butler is a dog at heart, but there's so many games where I feel like he's just coasting out there. Like he's just floating sometimes. And I love his mentality where he never, he takes a very even keel approach to a lot of things, where he never gets too high about a big win or a big game for him, and he never gets too low about a blowout loss, which inevitably helped us get through things like the tough Celtics series or whatever the case may be. But when we get into moments like this, where, and I don't have the stats in front of me, I don't know if anybody does, but just when you have our second best player in Bam Adebayo putting up 26 shots,
25.
24.
20,
20,
24.
it was
Yeah,
24,
5. 25.
it was 25 or whatever, or
25.
around there, 24, 25, 26. We have Bam putting on that many shots, giving you just as many points. So let's talk. I'm not even going to sit here and critique his efficiency because although he wasn't efficient, we could tell he was the only person out there that was really trying to put in work against this Denver Nuggets team in Game One. So I don't even fault his inefficiency on the shooting end. But when you have Bam taking that many shots, that's supposed to be a staple for your number one guy. Boston Celtics, for example, I know they're home right now. They're in Cancun chilling. I know they're in Cancun chilling right now. But when it comes to the Boston Celtics, JT is going to come out there and at least put up the shots that he needs as the number one on that team. So we'll, although he'll have his games where he'll have, an occasional 8 pointer or an occasional, 14, 15 point game, it's not like it was for lack of trying. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I feel like that does not reiterate sometimes when it comes to Jimmy Butler. I feel like he has an abundance of faith in his team, which I love and I adore. But at a certain point in time, our number one guy has to have that mentality where, listen, we gonna win or lose on the backs of my fucking struggles. That's how I feel sometimes with Jimmy Butler, and I feel a lot of times, he has a lot of trust in his teammates to the point that he believes in them to to take the lead and to help lead the way towards victory. But at the end of the day, we know you are our best player as far as getting the ball in your hands and making something happen with it. We need our guys like that to stay as assertive and as aggressive as they can off the jump. That's just how I feel about game one. Now, I feel like I want to do something that us as Heat fans, of course, we didn't really point out because of our frustration with our specific team and our performance. But we got to give the Denver Nuggets credit. I know, McKinley, you talked about how they didn't shoot well in game one, and that's something that we're not probably not expecting them to do for game two. But Jamal Murray came out and hooped. Aaron Gordon came out and hooped. Jokic, for us, we had a quiet Jokic game, and it's crazy to say that a quiet Jokic game is still a triple
Triple
double
double.
in the NBA
Yeah.
Finals. Like, it's just crazy to think about how ridiculous he is. But when you got Jamal Murray playing like fuck Bubble Murray, he's turned that into his whole ego these days. He's coming out there, he's shooting the ball so efficiently. Some of the moves that he's getting on the court are just straight pro moves. Where we got a guy that is not single handedly, but he has taken the reins as the playmaker and one of the most ball dominant players on that team, and he is not putting it to waste. I want to take a second to just hear what you guys have to say just about the performance that we're seeing from Jamal Murray and just his ability to just get back to himself, not only himself, but to elevate his game since the recent string of injuries that we know Jamal Murray has been dealing with over the past few years. So let me start with Key. What do you feel like about Jamal Murray has this Denver Nuggets team clicking?
Um, Outside of like being a Lakers fan, a Miami Heat fan, I am a fan of the Nuggets. Kind of. I really enjoy Jokic, Jamal Murray, especially. It was really bad that Jamal Murray messed his leg up. We tore his ACL. I know that fit. I tore my shit. So I know how that shit is. And for him to come back, for him to come back and really play at this level and perform at a high level is really cool. Like the same thing with what I was saying with Max Shoes confidence. That nigga Jamal Murray confidence is above the roof. Like that nigga Jamal Murray is scaring me. He's reminding me a little bit like Hurry, bro. Like I remember a play. I forgot what it was. Like he caught the ball and he like lost it a little bit, and the defender came flying on me, pump fake, dribble, step back to three. He had an open mid range, step back to three, and whack that shit, and then walked on like it was nothing. Like, and I was like, wow. It's just he's just consistently doing this over and over again. And everybody keeps saying that Bubble Murray, like fuck the Bubble Murray, it's God Murray right now, bro. Like he's playing on a high level. Um, I don't know what Miami gonna do against him. I'm not Spo, but we have to do something about that because he's just evolving more and more. And the thing about Jamal Murray is, as a number two option on the team, he could easily go for 50. Easily, he could easily drop 50 one night, and that's really scary, bro. He's playing a lot high level right now. I have nothing more to say about him. I'm just at amazed. It's just good basketball. I'm just enjoying it at this point.
It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see. And we talked about it last episode. A lot of people were talking about how the ratings of this series they felt like was going to drop just because, we had teams that quote unquote weren't the hype teams or, they weren't the Lakers of the world or the Boston Celtics of the world. But these are the types of series that us basketball, aficionados and people that actually enjoy watching the game and seeing the beauty of what the game is, project itself on the biggest stage. it's a great series for people like us because we see the beauty in a Jamal Murray's game. We see the very unorthodox level of artistry in a game like Jokic. So with those two players clicking at the levels they have, I've been hearing recent talks about how they just very well might be the best duo in the league. Bannon, do you have any comments regarding that trend that has been crossing the media lately?
First of all, I want to say the people that are worried about ratings who don't work for the NBA
Yeah.
need to shut up, bro. Like that's the lamest thing I never heard. Nobody was crying about ratings in 2018 when LeBron had absolutely nobody and went against the Avengers, bro. Like ratings didn't matter then. I don't know why they matter all of a sudden now.
Right,
People wanted to see Lakers and the Celtics, but they should have won their games. That's on them. But
right.
as far as the best duo in the league, I had it being Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, but
Me too.
as of right now, Nikola Jokic, who low key never puts up a bad game, and his bad games are still triple doubles. And you got Jamal Murray, who, like he said, could go off for 50 any second. That they're probably the most dangerous duo in the league right now. And I'm happy for Jamal Murray because I remember watching a post game interview of Mike Malone. And he was talking about how after Jamal Murray got injured, he was like, "Oh, Jamal was referring to himself as damaged goods," and like that's low key tough to hear because he's a bucket and a half, bro. Like he always gives his all to that Denver team, especially in the bubble. But like he said, it's not about the bubble no more. He does this on a consistent basis. He can go off and do whatever he wants on that court, especially with Jokic out there, who has the center of attention most of the time. But he has everything in his bag when it comes to scoring, bro. He can get to the rim, finish in the mid range, pull a deep three from half court. Like he can, there's nothing he can't do offensively, and defensively, like nobody pays attention to him defensively, but he's like a solid defender. So I don't really see a flaw in his game like that. He could make plays too, but the Nuggets as a whole, they're just a Swiss Army knife. I don't feel like they have a flaw as a team necessarily. Like they can literally do everything on the court. So that's why I don't take these losses to heart because this is a really complete basketball team through
This,
and through.
this is a really complete basketball team to the point where you have people saying that, the Heat is going to get ran through, swept, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, although I feel like that's just the continual disrespect that we've been seeing towards, these recent Heat teams as of late, that, I certainly don't understand. But at the end of the day, it's rhyme to this reason. We have a team playing with the utmost confidence, and we have a team looking like, a team that is ready to run through the whole league, and they've done so far. So, give the Denver Nuggets their credit. Now, maneuvering over to our next segment, I want to start off with Smack here. The do's and don'ts for each team. As far as by do's and don'ts, we know like we're talking like key points that you feel each team needs to do or don't do in order to achieve the maximum level of success, win these games and these NBA finals. So, beginning with our Miami Heat, what do you feel like is the key points for this team if we're gonna get overcome all odds and and win this damn series, man? What do you think we need to do, especially with Game Two looming in just a couple hours? What do you think we got to do as far as the Miami Heat putting themselves in position to win this game?
So first we're gonna start on offense. So first we need to involve Jokic into more ball screens, get him into more actions. I feel like because as you've seen late in the stretch, um, Gabe Vincent and Kyle Lowry, they was able to do like a quick high ball screen, able to get into some threes because Jokic is generally playing drop coverage, and so we need to take more advantage of that. And I say run more two-man game between Duncan Robinson and Bam because as we've seen before, their two-man game is pretty amazing. Duncan is really involved into a better ball handler, and he's a good passer too. He's made some great passes. So to for Bam, so we need to get more actions into that. And then obviously, Jimmy just needs to be more aggressive, but we kind of expect that, because Jimmy, as he said in the press conference, he's gonna take accountability for that, and hopefully he's gonna put more pressure on the rim, and force Jokic into foul trouble. Because one point I wanted to kind of disagree with you guys on the Nuggets being a complete team. The only weakness that they have really is they don't have no true rim protectors. Yeah, you got guys like MPJ who could potentially block a shot, but MPJ is not known as a shot blocker. Aaron Gordon too. They're not really. They're both just athletic, like around 6'10" guys that could jump and potentially block a shot. So I say like rim protection is one of their weaknesses. You could try to get Jokic into foul trouble, and but the thing about that is Jokic, he's a very smart defender, so he's really handsy. So he's gonna be looking for strips, and he tries not to get into foul trouble. So you gotta also be careful with that when you attack him. Um, Otherwise, offensively, those are really the main keys because I'm really not worried about our shooters making shots because that's just how the game goes. It's a make or miss league. You just got to believe in them. They had great looks. We just got to knock them down next time. Guys were probably a little tired or the moment was just a little too big. So, but it's heat culture. Them guys gonna bounce back and hit those next shots. So we're not really worried about that. Defensively, it's gonna be tough because they're a team that they're not too ISO or star oriented. They move the ball well. They have great continuity among each other. So defensively, really, it's just making sure we're talking on transition and making sure we're matched up well. And then hopefully we could see some Kevin Love minutes, and I'd say decrease Cody Zeller minutes. As much Bam at this point has got to play almost at least the same amount of minutes as Jokic. So whenever Jokic get out the game, that's when Bam gets out. Whenever Jokic get back in, that's when Bam goes back in. There's not a moment where honestly I should see Cody Zeller in the game. He's solid. He's good energy. He's a tough guy, but Cody Zeller, we all seen that one play where Jokic just damn near put a shoulder in his chest, and well, you see that nigga tumbling to the ground, and he got his cookies ripped by Jokic as well. There's nothing you can do about that one, but honestly, we should not see a lot of Cody Zeller minutes. So
Okay.
defensive,
Oh, go ahead.
um, yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. I want to before we move on to the next person to share their takes on both teams. I want to ask you, Smack, with the shooting that we saw in Game One. Now, we already detailed the numbers from three of our top shooters. I've been hearing a lot of talks of this isn't an anomaly for the Miami Heat. Excuse me. Damn, I sound like he. This isn't an anomaly for the Miami Heat, but it's instead what they are. What they actually are. People have been talking about how they were a pretty piss poor 3-point shooting team in the regular season. Yeah, they caught fire in the playoffs, and they've come out here and they have excelled in that department. But as far as Game Two and the rest of the series is concerned, do you feel like Game One is more so reminiscent of what's to come and what the Heat have been in the regular season? Or do you think that was a one off in which, like you guys had said earlier, we trusted our shooters, they just wasn't knocking it down that game. We move on to the next, they'll do better next game. What side of the coin do you think you fall on?
I feel that's a great point. It is a little reminiscent of the regular season of the misses, certain misses, but I'd say more we should be good for game two. Reason being, because I'd say if I remember the stat correctly, they had six like out of the threes they had I don't know the total, but 16 of those threes were considered open, and they only made five of them. And the way they were shooting, we shot like almost around 40% against Boston, which is pretty much a wing oriented team, guys who could really close out and bother shooters. The Knicks, another team that's known for defense, that are gritty, and then obviously the Milwaukee Bucks, a lengthy team that they could really bother shooter with a lot of their length, with the guys with long arms. So I feel like we should be good because the way they've been shooting against those three teams, we should be shooting the same way. Fine.
Hey man, I pray to God you are right because, and I told y'all boys back when the game was taking place, I was in a bar, it was packed out, we all watching the Heat game, we all supporting the Heat. I don't think y'all understand how disheartening it is to see wide open 3-point shots go up. Everybody get hyped up, everybody throwing their threes in the air, everybody hyped, and that shit is fucking broke. My head, me and my older brother and my younger brother were actually out watching the game together, and all of our heads, every shot, it just dropped. It was just like, damn, like this is not the Heat team that we're accustomed to. So, I mean, I'm praying for the best when it comes to this team. Um, I hope all is well when it comes to the vast majority of them. But I guess we're just gonna see how game two unfolds. So Key, how you feel about the do's and the don'ts for each team? What would you say?
Um, basically, going back to it, like I said with game one, and everybody say right now, Jimmy got to be more aggressive. One thing about Jimmy that he's really good is he's really good at getting fouls. I don't know if he's the highest foul getter in the playoffs right now. He probably is top five or at least top three. He's number two.
No, I'm just hinting at a point that you're about to make. I'm assuming in that we only had two free throws in
Yeah,
game
only had
one.
two free throws,
Like,
and I think they were it was like the lowest percentage in the finals history of like shots taken in the paint too. Some shit like that, right? Some shit. It was something crazy.
yep, I seen that. I seen that stat as well.
Yeah. I think another benefit to stop the Aaron Gordon bullshit, they're gonna put Aaron Gordon on Jimmy, and Jimmy's good at getting foul calls. So if we put Aaron Gordon on Jimmy and he gets foul calls on Jimmy, if Gordon, I'm calling this. I'm calling this. Gordon's gonna get two fouls in the first. I don't know, maybe first quarter. I thought you can get two fouls. Jimmy can be more aggressive. I hope, or maybe they might switch him around. And other guys be more aggressive. And then one thing about Max Strus I like, he's not that great defensively, but he can get some charges. I don't know how he do it. Max Strus get charges. Gordon's playing really physical. I think Gordon is going to really block in on that detail. And Jimmy play more aggressive. He does that, and Bam keep doing the same thing he's doing. Miami should be okay. I agree with the shooters. Like I understand, y'all saw the Paul Pierce bullshit. Paul Pierce talking about somehow Miami like the worst teams scoring wise in the league, and that's the regular season, bro. Everybody keeps saying this shit about the regular season. It's always been a staple throughout our lives. The regular season, playoffs is different intensities, a different level of basketball. It's way different. What have you done for me lately? Like, come on, like the Miami Heat have been playing great. They were shooting well throughout the whole playoffs. According to the same thing with McKay said, all the teams they played were decent defensive teams and big teams. That's one thing too. Everybody keeps saying about the size, but the Nuggets, Miami play against the Bucks, who are also a big size team. And Brook Lopez was number 3 in the defensive fucking player year votes. Like they play against guys like this, play against better guys. They just have to keep doing what they've been doing. Hopefully they can keep going with it. Hopefully we don't see too many missed open shots. But if they flow through Jimmy, I think Jimmy has to step up now and really take the reins. He's been stepping up, of course. I'm sorry, but I mean, he really has to be the number one option and force defenders to surround him so these guys could be more confident. I guess I feel like the team rolls through Jimmy. The don'ts defense. I'm surprisingly saying defense is going to be a little problem for Miami because Miami's been a great defensive team. They just have to figure that shit out on defense. I don't know if anybody can startle Jokic, but maybe make it harder for Murray if that's possible. Make him make more difficult shots and just watch the shooters. That's the only thing. I think we should take out Cody Zeller, play more Kevin Love, and play more Highsmith. And maybe instead of putting Bam on, I know it's crazy. Instead of putting Bam on Jokic, let's have Bam as a help defender, maybe. And maybe you put someone like Kevin Love, you guys say, or Martin on Jokic. Because Jokic, he's at the top of the key. And if he comes to back down, I know it's like you don't want him to post up and get a double team. He finds open shooters, but we have good length. We have Bam as a help defender, and he could really disrupt Jokic more instead of him just playing on ball on him. I feel like I don't know. I want to see Miami at least try it at least because I feel like with Jokic on the top of the key and Bam's guarding him, it like he didn't put that many shots. So he put up what 8 shots, but he still, like we said, was still working his offense and working pretty well. I think Bam is a great defender. And he could do probably better off supporting everybody else instead of guarding the main guy. Um, that's the only things I can see for Miami to do. Grab more rebounds, be more physical, be more aggressive. Come in the house and say, "Shut the fuck up, we gonna score this shit, win this." That's he coached it basically. For the Nuggets, the only thing they could do is shoot more shots and make more shots. But fuck the Nuggets. I'm sorry. On top of
I feel that.
the,
Hey,
the Nuggets, the Nuggets been playing great basketball, so there's not much you can say for them. They could just be consistent.
I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. Bana, I want to hear a little bit of your take just regarding whichever team you want to document, and if you want to do both, you can. But just what you feel like is going to be, translate into game two.
I feel like everything about Miami has been touched on. Um,
Fish.
Devon, don't get fined now.
That's all.
all right, bruh.
That's
But
play.
yeah, everything's already been said that's needed to be said for Miami. Um, As far as the dudes for Miami, keep shooting the ball if you're Max and Duncan. That's what you're out there to do. We've seen what they could do. You know, they done damage to Boston, some incredible damage to the Knicks. So just keep shooting the ball. Jimmy, just be more aggressive. That's who you are. Get to the line. Stop setting. No, for don'ts for Miami. Do not settle for jump shots, bro. Stop that. That was pissing me off last game.
I
Stop
like
Long
settling
that.
for these
twos. We
jump
not,
shots,
yeah.
bro.
We not settling
Yes,
for
yeah.
long twos.
Yeah, bro. Like, bro. Stop
That's
doing
Gabe
that, bro.
Vincent.
Because, like you said, McKinley, they don't have rim protectors like that. We went up against a Robert Williams. We went up against Al Horford, a Mitchell Robinson, a Brooke Lopez, a few games of Giannis, but still a Giannis. Um, if we could finish at the rim against those teams, bro, why can't we finish over? Like Jokic is a big body, don't get me wrong, but he's not gonna jump with nobody. Aaron Gordon, what? He's 6'8". He could jump. I ain't gonna lie, that boy could jump, but he ain't go. You know what I'm saying? Um, just stop settling for jump shots, bro. Especially if you're not Duncan or Struce. Like those are the main people I want to see taking like the tough shots at the 3 point line. But that's really it. For the
Yeah.
Nuggets, I would say fuck the Nuggets, but you know they're hooping, bro. I don't really have
Yeah.
no don'ts for them. They they miss open shots just like we did, honestly. And for the same thing goes for the Nuggets. Just keep shooting the ball. That's really it.
I can respect that take. I can respect that take. I feel like I got a little bit. I'm gonna touch on Denver just a little bit, just because we've all said, and what's understood with the Denver Nuggets doesn't need to be explained, of course. But just one thing I feel about Denver, as far as do's and don'ts are concerned, I would say they should not. They should do everything in their power. And I know it burns my heart to say this, but I really do feel like this series is going to be, we talked about it from a scheme perspective last episode. And, we said it's going to be a very scheme oriented series. But I do feel like the Denver Nuggets just have the better team on paper. So if they don't allow the team to run through Jimmy Butler the same way that they were able to kind of slow him down game one, I knew, like we've said, we assume he's gonna come out with a whole different level of intensity. He's already calling the over on the 1.5 fouls for damn Aaron Gordon in the first quarter. So, you know, we know what this Heat team is, and Denver should know what this Heat team is. They live by they live by their culture. They're gonna die by their culture. So I feel as though they have to do a great job in keeping Jimmy Butler contained, because we know what he has in him if he chooses to go for it. As far as their duels are concerned, one thing I love about watching Denver play, and this burns my heart to say, because we're playing against them now, and they're damn near rivals and all this shit when it comes to the NBA Finals right now. But bro, they play beautiful basketball, and they move the basketball so fluidly. Like, I saw one play where it's like three actions going on the backside. Jokic has the rock, and all the attention is going to be on him. But because of all the motion that's coming on the backside, and the way the ball was swinging back to Jokic instead of him just coming down and running with it by himself, it's opening so much action for them. It's giving them bunnies at the rim. It's giving them buckets that you ultimately shouldn't be getting in the NBA Finals, and you wouldn't usually get against this a Miami Heat team, with the Heat culture that we know of. But the scheme has just been it's just moving beautifully. I feel like they also need to their role players need to maintain that same level of intensity that they've been having. Specifically, Bruce Brown, which shout out to the
Brucey.
yeah, shout out to Bruce, shout out to former Kane, you know. But Bruce Brown, he has been that spark plug for this team all playoffs long. And I feel like it's very undercovered by the media, and I feel like we don't talk about it enough. But Bruce Brown has, think about it like this. We're talking about like how tall is Bruce Brown? Like 6'3", 6'4" guardish.
He's like
Maybe,
6'4", 6'5".
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
he's 6'4".
yeah, he like, a decently sized, guard, maybe like a small forward or whatever you want to call him. But for him to be crashing the way he does, like, I believe there was one game against the Lakers where he had like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've seen something like 5 or 6 offensive rebounds. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking about that stat, and I'm like, how is a team allowing Bruce Brown to hit the glass like this? Like, it is literally, it's very simple. It's literally a who wants it more type of thing when it comes to him. We see him leaving his all on the court. We see him in transition 24/7. He's been putting his body on the line. He's one of those role players that has blossomed into, a very vital piece for this team. And I feel like in order for, the collective of the Nuggets to work, and in order for that second unit to come in the game and not show that drop off that you should be getting when you're taking out guys like Yoke and Jay Murray, guys like him have to continue to step up. Now, as far as this, we've already touched on basically everything for the Miami Heat, but as far as the don'ts for Miami, and it's been something that's been killing me the entirety of these playoffs, just like we said earlier, he said about hitting the glass. We allow far too many offensive rebounds, far too many offensive rebounds, and it's
Rebound.
so frustrating to see like great defense being played. We have the recipe when it comes to what we need to do on the defensive end, and we force a contested shot, whatever the case may be, and it's like boom, that's exactly what we want. All we got to do is finish it off, hit the glass, and we're going down the other way. It's too many times I'm seeing the ball bounce off the rim, stay in the air for a little bit. Everybody's watching. Yes, we're boxing out, but everybody's watching. And somebody slips through a crack. Boom, Denver got the ball. Boom, Boston got the ball. This was a commonality that I've been seeing throughout the playoffs. So we really, really need to emphasize, especially us being the smaller team in this series. We have to emphasize everybody hitting the glass, or it's just not going to work because when you're giving such tremendous players like Jokic and Jamal Murray multiple opportunities at the offensive end, it's only going to lead to disaster. So that's all I can really say about the Heat, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to game two. I feel like it's going to be a big change of pace than game one. I'm hoping it don't get worse for us. But you know, with that being said, what are predictions? Like, how are you guys feeling? Let me hear. I know it's hard to be unbiased when your team is in the NBA Finals, but let's try to be as unbiased as we can as far as these predictions are concerned. So, Cannon, you want to start?
You can't
Oh wait,
you
before
can't
y'all
say
start,
that. Oh, my fault.
I wanted to add in some dues for Denver because since we really didn't do much for them,
Yeah,
and
go
I
ahead.
just want the Heat question. So dues for Denver. I like the way they were icing screens, keeping it one side, sideline, baseline, and kind of just disrupting the action, not allow middle penetration. And then obviously we've seen once they do that, especially with Jimmy, he just generally kind of just toes the sideline and then tries to kick it out to a corner shooter, and he's just and then which crowds the spaces. So they did a great job of that, and need to keep doing that on ball screens to the wing. Um, they need to do better on their rotations because sometimes you've seen, like, especially on closeout situations, and another thing, guys need to stay down a little bit more and close out better. But on closeout situations and rotations, there's two people to the ball, which allowed Miami to have easy kickouts to certain shooters, and so they need to do a better job of that on staying down on fakes for the threes and then just rotating better. And then dudes, when they're struggling, if they're struggling to get a bucket, always go back to that Jamal Murray and Jokic pick and roll because that is their bread and butter, and that forever will be their bread and butter because that is almost unstoppable no matter what coverage you present to them, unless you have two defenders that can both guard both of them. Which probably for us is Jimmy and Bam, but highly unlikely due to certain matchups and whatever adjustments we have. It's always
Highsmith.
Yep, it's probably going to be drop coverage, and if it's a switch, Jokic's going to take advantage of the mismatch, and he's going to go to work. So they need to keep doing that and keep using that bread and butter. And then obviously against our zone, try to get the ball, like, obviously try to get the ball to the middle, but obviously another thing, kind of set screens on the wings and try to penetrate between the wing and the corner. That little gap right there, that'll be perfect penetration for them. And then let cutters on the other side come through because guys will have their backs to the baseline on the corner. So guys coming through cuts from that corner from that weak side, it'll be easy buckets from there. So
Beautiful take. Beautiful take. Y'all know Smack's always gonna come in with the basketball knowledge that we need. So we appreciate you for that, Smack. Yeah, Banan, what we thinking about predictions? Let me hear what you're feeling about game two. Confident or not? Just 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 let the fans hear it.
I'm I'm confident in a Miami game two victory here tonight. I'm gonna
Don't
be
sound like
honest.
it.
Right, right. It don't sound like he sound hella
Okay, my
lackadaisical.
fault. My
He
fault. Hold
sound like
up.
he defeated.
My fault. The Miami Heat gonna win tonight. Okay,
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
sir.
I'm gonna let it be known right now, bro. I have too much faith in this team to ever bet against them, bro. Like, if you want me to be real, I had the Miami Heat winning this series in five, and I'm sticking with that. I don't care. Um, but yeah, we gonna come out with more energy. We
That
just had
take
to get you. We only. You said what?
that takes some balls to say that you still got to hit in five. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm gonna ride that till I die. But pause. But
Pause. Pause.
There you
pause, bro.
Oh boy, it's trying to get fined and canceled, boy. I tell you.
But look though. We only
Hold
play in
on, fine.
Denver. We only play in Denver what once a season. We just have to get used to it, bro. We got to get used to it. So I feel like that first game it was more of an adjustment game, like figure out, okay, this is what it feels like, blah blah blah. But they gonna come out guns blazing. They gonna come out hot, a whole bunch of energy. Um, Jimmy not gonna have that game again. And bam, he put up 26. He gonna have that confidence to hoop. The rest of the guys, they're not gonna give up them open shots again. They're not gonna miss those. So I have faith. We gonna win. We gonna pull out the dub tonight.
Okay, so give me a score projection. What you thinking for the score for the scoreboard?
It's definitely not gonna be a high scoring game. I'm feeling a 103-92 type of game.
Mm.
Something like that.
103-92. I can respect that. That's a very respectable win for the Miami Heat. Okay, appreciate that, Bannon. Appreciate that, Bannon. Key, you want to go next as far as your predictions are concerned?
Um. Uh. Yeah. I got Miami.
You sound
I got
unconfident too.
Miami.
You sound okay. Okay, I was about to say because you sound unconfident too, nigga. So you better clean
I'm trying.
the.
I'm trying to think. I had some in my head. Someone sent
Right.
me a text. But Miami just got to keep doing what they doing. I say work through Jimmy, like I've been saying. Just play through Jimmy. Jimmy, and what a lot of people who want to talk about it, like Eric Coach said it, it's a fill out game. The first game, the first 2 games always fill out games. Like he said, they only played one time in Denver. Once they get used to this air, once they get used to this energy, one thing I like to say too, like bringing back to bring back up the Lakers. Like after game one, I thought the same thing. Like Lakers is going to be a bag. They're going to do this and that the third, and they didn't come back with that energy. And even at the end of the game, like it didn't feel like Lakers had because they were down 20 the first game. They came back, but it wasn't like that. Miami Heat do like I said in the last podcast, do everything, every disadvantage. All the teams are better than them on paper. Miami Heat has always came back. They always step to the plate. They always play at the higher level. They never show fault at anything. Like okay, everyone can say, "Oh, Giannis got hurt." The game they lost is when Giannis wasn't playing. When he came back, they didn't give a fuck. They bullied the shit out of Julius Randle. They gave Tatum problems in them boys. Like I feel like they're gonna come back at this game. They were smiling after the game. I heard they said in that locker room. Jimmy said it was chilling in the locker room after the game. They were tripping. All right, bro, keep this up. Just keep going. Keep attacking. Bam got to keep doing what he's doing. Jimmy got to stay at a high level. I say for the Denver. They got to do what they keep doing, but fuck them. I think my team is going to disrupt something. Spo always figures this out. My prediction, 92 is kind of crazy for the Nuggets. I ain't gonna hold you. I say 112, 108, maybe 112, 105. So 112, 105. I feel like this is gonna be a big Jimmy game, big Max Strus game. You know what I'm saying? I feel like uh, I think Max Strus shot 60 threes in a row. I saw some shit like that. That shit's
I
nuts.
don't give a fuck about what he
Uh,
posted on social media. I'm sick of him, bro. Sick of that nigga, bro. Sick of him. But I can respect the take.
yeah,
I can respect the take.
yeah. 112, 105. I still got Miami in six. I said that Miami six still got it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so we got Bannon. Oh, okay, so we got Bannon. He got 103.98, or yeah, 103.98, right? And then we got
92.
something like that. We got Key with you say 112. Okay, 112. You said 112. What score?
Yeah.
Glitching.
Said, I said which one 115? I know Denver score is 103.
Yeah, you
He
said
I
said
what?
already
You said
said that.
112.
103.
Yeah, you
Well,
said
all right,
112.
what's 103?
You said
Yeah.
112. Okay, Smack. Let's hear yours.
Damn, man, it's gonna be tough, you know. Because obviously Denver, they're not going with the open looks that they had. I don't see them missing them. I don't see them shooting this low of a percentage from three. But obviously us the same as well. I don't see us shooting that low percentage from three. Um, I at a from the game, I like what we had defensively. Obviously there were some mistakes that need to be cleaned up, but we only for such a great offensive team, they only scored 104 points. And granted, they didn't shoot the ball well, but we kind of did have a little bit of effect on that because they were well rested. They had plenty of time. Well, obviously, a lot of guys were in the gym because the way they was conditioned and the way they was playing, but they had a lot of good looks and they weren't knocking them down. And then some of them we forced some bad misses. So. Uh, It's tough. It's real tough. It's gonna be a close game. I see whoever win in three, but I'm gonna have to go with my Heat boys. I'm gonna go 110, 110 to 107.
110 or
Hmm.
107. 110 or 107. I can respect that. I
If
can
it's a
respect that.
close game like that, that's gonna scare
Yeah,
me.
It's gonna
yeah,
be scary.
facts.
We
Yeah,
gonna be our
facts.
hearts are gonna be
It's
racing throughout
gonna be
this
a
game,
close
but
game.
I'm looking forward to it. I feel like as far as my prediction is concerned, you know, it's one thing about this Heat team that has not failed to show its face when it comes to these playoffs. This team loves drama. I don't know what it is. They like to make the most. They like to make it the most dramatic finishes. They like putting themselves in in these uncomfortable positions. And yeah, they've been fighting out of them, but it's just been a staple throughout these playoffs. I bring that up to say, coupled with the fact that Denver did not have that good of a game in Game One, if we're being honest, the Nuggets are going to win Game Two. I'm sorry to say it. I know it's not what he fans it's not what he fans want to say. But I brought up the
Oh, it's
dramatic
I
not.
point.
respect it.
I brought up the dramatic point because I feel like a 0-2 start to a series is the fire that this team needs
True.
to pull off a big time upset when it comes to these Denver Nuggets. We need to get punched in the mouth. I know game one was a little, should have been that punch in the mouth, that wake up call. But it wasn't really because, we kind of came back at the end of the game. Then it wasn't, that big of a blowout as it was looking like it was going to be earlier in the game. So I feel like, and we've spoken about, what we've heard about them in the locker room. They're still, chilling. Things shit is still kind of sweet for them. I don't really fuck with it. And I think that they are going to be in for a rude awakening because they're going to enter game two thinking that, we're the Miami Heat and we're going to bounce back like we've been bouncing back. But like we said, Denver did not have a relatively good game in game one. So I feel like Denver is going to understand the circumstance, understand the situation, and they're going to understand that a 2-0 lead for them back to Miami is going to be something that, is going to work highly in their favor. So I think it burns my heart to say it, but I feel like I got Denver in about, I want to say about 115 to 110. I'll keep it close. 115, 110, kind of high scoring. I feel like I got the Denver Nuggets pulling out game two. But that has nothing to do with my prediction for the series because, like y'all know, I said Heat in seven. So I'm still sticking to that Heat in seven mentality. Banan got Heat in five.
Seven.
So he better be sure that these motherfuckers don't lose. Key got him in six. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be, it's game one was a great, game other than the shooting that we saw from our Miami Heat team, and I'm looking forward to seeing you know what unfolds in Game Two. So, once again, boys, that is another episode of the MKZ podcast in the books. Once again, we want to give a big special thanks to our special guest, the Biggest Banaan. Appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us, bringing some great takes to the table. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And
I always wanted to pop out here. Y'all boys be going crazy on here, so to be here
hey,
with y'all is like I said, it's fire.
hey,
Especially McKinley, that boy knowledge is.
it's top tier. That boy be talking his shit. Hey, also before he gets up out of here, I want the fans to go take a second to go check out his stream. As we know, you got Key that
Yep.
streams already. A lot of y'all should already know that Key be on his stream and shit. But as our special guest is here, we're always gonna show love to the people that's showing love to us. So go check out
For the ad. What's
Banan's
the ad?
Banan. Yeah, what's the ad, Banan? What's the ad for the stream, man?
Let them know.
Big banana bandana.
After the sign, I knew something crazy was coming after it. But y'all heard the man. Big Banana Bandana. Y'all go check him out on Twitch. He streams. What type of content do you stream on Twitch, Brandon?
I be doing doing anything. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be gaming. I be reacting, listening to music, just chilling. I do everything.
Cool, and y'all, hey, y'all see he brought some energy to today's episode. Y'all see he has a great character and a great future ahead of himself. So please go check out, our homeboy who's been our homeboy since we've been Jits. So it's been a pleasure to have you today, Banan. My regular co-host, Smack, Major Key. It's always love for y'all. Happy birthday to Key once again. It's always love. We had to come out
Thank you,
here
thank you.
and show love to our dog, man. Before we get out of here, I want to start something. I want to pose a question to you guys and the audience, real quick, just as far as something that I want to start in these episodes where we open up with a question of the day, where we can just say some random shit and just get each other's takes on it. I feel like it's only on brand, as you guys see where I'm at. I could flex a little bit and show the environment, but I'm out here with the tourists in Orlando, so I'm on vacation, Hollywood Studios, whatever the case may be. But like we said, the work always comes first, so we had to come together and make this episode. So the question I want to pose to y'all, just a quick answer so we can get up out of here. Start, bench, cut, and by start, bench, cut, the one you cut, all of their content is wiped for from the entirety of any content creation. Okay, we got Disney Channel, we got Cartoon Network, we got Nickelodeon. Start, bench, cut. Let me hear
Man, that's light work, man. We got a Star Cartoon Network, bench Nickelodeon, and cut Disney Channel.
it.
Easy. Anybody
Damn,
has a different opinion? I'm
bro, I'm
sorry.
at
Disney Channel. It was he had all right
You
shows, but
make that seem too
Yeah,
he
yeah,
he
I'm
made
easy,
not
he
bro.
gonna
said
lie.
that way
like,
too quick. Like that was just so
I'm
easy
sorry.
to say.
As soon as you
Wow,
said those
Because
three, I
Disney
already,
got
I already.
movies
Yeah,
too, bruh.
exactly.
Disney got
But
hits.
nobody is beating Ben 10, and nobody is beating Generator Red. Nobody's beating Amazing World of Comedy. Nobody's beating regular show. Nobody's beating Teen Titans, OG Teen Titans. We ain't talking about that
Yeah.
nasty ass Teen Titans Go. Nobody is beating those classic shows.
Whoa, whoa! Teen Titans Go
It's
is
not for that,
hard.
for that, for that,
It's
for
not like the
that.
OG, bro. It's not OG. It's not like the
Teen
OG.
Titans Go.
Oh
But that
shit.
show is funny,
It's funny,
bruh.
but it's not like the OG. But we here for plot and story. We're not here for random comedy. Like
This
I
I'm trying to
watched
see
man,
where
Disney
beat the
from the
shit out of
jump off.
somebody.
this man, McKinley didn't show no love. He ain't have no bias with Disney, being that it's involved in today's episode. He didn't do nothing. He already had his
No,
answer picked, and he already know what he's talking about. So I guess, I mean, if that's your opinion. Let me hear somebody else's. Key, what you thinking?
Bruh, this shit
It's tough.
hard, bruh.
It's tough.
Cause like I was thinking like Nickelodeon, eh? But then again, like I fuck with iCarly, Victorious, SpongeBob,
Classic.
SpongeBob's
bruh.
my favorite show
SpongeBob,
ever, bro. That's like that's
bruh.
the that's the
Classic.
greatest
that's
cartoon
why they
ever,
on the
bro.
bench. That's why Nickelodeon on the
SpongeBob, but like
bench.
the Disney Channel, bro. Like you know how many movies Disney Channel had that I grew up on, bro. Lion King,
The
Aladdin,
Incredibles.
The
If The
Incredible.
Incredibles is gone forever, I might cry, bro.
Super Super
That's
Soup.
Hey,
Oh,
just to make it a bit more
gosh,
fair, because it would be low key unfair if we included all of Disney. So we're not including those movies. We're only including the movies that was on
Pixar.
Disney Channel.
Oh, bro.
Oh
Okay.
no, no, no Pixar. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
yeah, no,
so so
yeah,
we're not
Pixar, yeah,
including
Pixar
Disney as
different.
a whole, because Disney as a whole, let's be honest, they run
Yeah,
they
it's too
they run the
much.
world of media. Let's be honest. But if we're
Yeah.
going off a Disney Channel, which is still hard for me, I don't know why y'all just blowing it off, making it seem like
Nah, because
Disney Channel is
Phineas
the
and
soul.
Ferb is like top
Phineas
three.
Ferb is
Come
hard, but SpongeBob
on.
go harder. I
Okay,
actually
so
see
okay, so what's your list? Start, bench, cut, who?
starting Cartoon Network, benching Nickelodeon, and beginning with Disney Channel. That's the case.
Damn. Okay,
Fuck that.
respectable,
Good
respectable.
Luck Charlie. That's the only show I like on that. I like Phineas Ferb.
Hey, fuck it. Bannon, what you
Nigga,
think?
like Wizards of Waverly
Oh,
Place.
Zack and Cody.
You
Yes,
forget.
you're
Oh,
tweaking.
Yeah, you forget. So Disney got some banger shows, but
that's so Raven.
They
yeah,
got some hits over there, boy. They got some hits. Bannon, what you think? I know you need some. You might need a second.
Them too, but damn, bro,
Yeah.
because Cartoon Network, bro, everything on there is majority is fire. My top three for Nick is iCarly, SpongeBob, and Victorious. But then Disney. No. Start Cartoon Network, bench Disney, cut Nickelodeon.
What?
Ah,
What?
yes, sir.
it's
Something different.
tweaking. Big tweak, big
I can't,
tweak.
I can't, I can't just have it be a sweep, bro.
You right.
Can't
Right.
have it
I
be a
respect
sweep.
it. I
Can't
respect
have it
it.
be a sweep.
I'm
If I'm
going with
gonna
Zach and Cody.
facts, bro. If I'm gonna be real, if I'm gonna share my top three, share my order for it. Let's start off right off the bat. Get Nickelodeon out of here. I love Nickelodeon, but Nickelodeon can get cut. I know,
That's
kind of hot take,
crazy.
but Nickelodeon can get cut. I know they have some bangers. We already talked about SpongeBob. We talked about iCarly. We talked about Victorious.
Very odd parents.
Ooh, Fairly
Oh,
Odd
Jimmy
Parents.
Neutron.
Ooh,
Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom.
Avatar.
ooh.
Yeah,
Avatar.
Avatar was on Nickelodeon. It was showing on Nickelodeon.
Whoa, Nickelodeon.
Y'all boys is
Hey,
tweaking.
you just pointed out some bangers for me. I ain't gonna lie. But fuck that.
But I
Just
ain't
like
gonna.
Kanan, just like
Oh,
Bannon
oh,
said,
oh.
I'm not fuck that. I'm not going with the hype. I'm gonna have a different list. I got Nickelodeon, fuck out of here. This is gonna be so fucking random. I know my
Oh, hell
regular
no.
list is probably Cartoon Network starting, but for the sake of making this shit different, y'all probably don't know this about me, but like Kanan probably do. Maybe when we was younger, he probably heard it before. Nigga, me and one of my best friends, Mike, shout out Mike Lewis, my boy doing his thing in
Shout out to
Orlando.
GOAT. Shout out
Shout
Jesus.
out
Shout out to
Mike. Yes,
Goat.
sir.
Nigga, a lot of people don't know this. We used to be skate heads back in the day, right? And we used to be
Oh,
low key watching skate. We could have skateboard for shit, but we were low key we low key fuck with
Niggas
it.
wanted to be Zeke and Luther.
You damn right. That's exactly why I'm bringing that up. Zeke and Luther was damn near my favorite show on Disney, bro. I don't know
Oh
what
my
it
goodness.
was, but
Man.
that show was so turned to me, and I hated when it got discontinued because it just seemed like the dopest shit ever. We got niggas that like have a whole community of people around the skate park. You know, that was perfect for me. So just off of the backs of that show alone, and Zach and Cody, because Zach and Cody is a classic on deck.
yeah, I ain't
All of them shits was fucking hard. I don't give a damn. All of them shits was hard.
Disney
And
XD was hard too.
right, and if
yeah,
we
this
talk
DXZ was too.
right, and if we hold on, what is London name from Zack and Cody?
London.
No,
London. London Tipton.
I know her. What's her
Oh,
real
Brenda
name?
Song. Brenda
Oh,
Song.
Brenda Song. If you see if this clip come across your timeline in any way, shape, or
Oh
form,
yeah, I know you're
if
talking
you're
about.
still looking good, I haven't seen you in a minute, but if you're
I,
still
I know
looking
you're
that
talking about.
good, I need you to get right. Okay,
She married to a white man.
go follow MK. What?
man, who cares?
Oh,
He could take that.
Go.
it's a 1v1.
I don't care. I don't care.
No play,
Go follow
play.
MKZ on all socials. Brenda Song and hit the DMs real quick. I gotta talk to you about something. So just off of
She's
that,
40.
I don't give a damn. I got Disney. I got Disney Channel number one. I'm starting them. I got Cartoon Network on the bench. Total Drama will forever be one of my favorites. So I got Cartoon Network on the bench. And Nickelodeon.
Another banger.
Nickelodeon, I love you, but get the fuck out of here, man. I feel like that was a nice little fun way to end the
Niggas
episode.
say we really getting rid of Ned's declassified school survival
That
guide.
shit
Come
can kick
on.
rocks. Get out of here. That can
All
kick
right.
rocks. I don't
No,
care.
that's my childhood. That's my childhood. That's my childhood. I
That
can't.
can go.
Drake and Josh. Come on.
Oh, Drake
We
and
really
Josh,
Oh,
that
getting
was my
rid of them
shit.
boys.
No, Drake and Josh was my shit, but I'm sticking with it. I already said it. I'm sticking
Niggas
with it.
is good.
I
That's
already said it. Hey, let us know.
crazy.
Let us know in the comments. We'll probably post the clip alone so you guys can vote. Post it on social media or somewhere for you guys to share your
hmm
opinions. But like we said, start bench cut, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. I want to hear your takes, and when you share them, also let us know what was your favorite show on each of those platforms. Okay, so with that being said, I think we could wrap up today's episode, episode 6 of MKZ the podcast. Once again, thank all y'all boys for coming in. Thank you guys for tuning in every week. Whenever we're posting these every day, damn near, because we're dropping a recap for every single game in this NBA Finals. Okay, so just be on the lookout. We're going to be a lot more consistent this summer, and we're trying to take MKZ to big things. So we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Bannon, for all your assistance, all your work, and from there on out. Shit, that's all I got. You fellas got anything?
Heat and six. All I can say.
I got something to say. Y'all three, y'all boys keep working, bro. Y'all
Well,
boys,
Uh,
this podcast shit that y'all going on, this show, this shit is fire, bro. I be trying to tune in as much as I can, but from the shit that I seen, y'all boys is big brain, young black men ready to succeed, bro. And
Bro,
I see a lot in y'all future, bro. So keep going, keep grinding.
that's
My
love.
feet smell like cheese.
Come on, Key. You had to ruin the
Right.
good moment. We say
Why?
that
Yeah,
dumb
I'm just saying
shit.
it was such an amazing moment.
It was, bro. It's very loud right now.
Man,
But thank you, Brandon. I thank
Oh
you a
no,
lot,
that,
bro.
I ain't gonna lie, you're not included no more, bro.
Bro, oh,
hell no. Hey, before this goes out of hand, because we know Key is liable to say some crazy shit. We gonna cut this episode off, man.
Very
Tune
live.
in for the next one. After game 2, we will be dropping another episode where we will be going through. As you see, we're rolling these special guests in and out. So, like I said, thank you to all the special guests that have and will be tuning in to for these next coming episodes. And with that being said, NKZ out this motherfucker.